think that, I mean, depending on where you play, you know, it's about the audience. So, I mean, the last time we played here, we played with a band called the Dirty Pearls, and they're like a really intense, like, rock audience. So it was sort of funny that were playing with them, because that's not, that we make like pop music. But then another time we opened for them as well, and it was for the after party for the Lady Gaga tour, and her fans were like all about it. So it just really depends on who you're opening for, but Kendall's fans have been really amazing to us, so it's always fun to play where you're from, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Now, for people who may not know of your band and your music, could you explain a little bit about what you're about, what kind of music it is?
Sure. It's synth pop. And I think we gave it the title of alternative synth pop is the official way we describe it. But it's really just synths as well as acoustic instruments. So some of it's live drums, some of it's electronic drums. It's a ton of synths, bass, guitar. It's all of that, and then really kind of singer-songwriter melodies and stories.
Now, you just mentioned you did the after party for Lady Gaga, so you've gotten to do a lot of really cool events. Is there anyone you've met at any of these events, concerts, or just outside of anything that you've been super starstruck by?
Oh my God, good question. Super starstruck by... Who have I met? I met Paris Hilton. I wasn't starstruck, though. I was, like, nervous. I'm so short, and she's so tall. Yeah. And I was, like... looking up at her. She was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And we were playing the after party for Charlotte Ronson, who's a designer, and she was at the event, and so she said, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, we're playing the after party," and she was like, "That's really amazing." She said it like the way Paris Hilton would say it, and I was like, I just wanted her to say, "That's hot." Like, I wanted her to say it. I mean, I think that's maybe the only thing. There was a singer named Kate Nash. I don't know if you know her. She's British. I met her, and we chatted, and that was cool because she's someone that inspired me to write music. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and like your background started in dance, right, when you were younger?
Yeah.
So you've kind of transformed into music, performing. So what do you prefer? Obviously, right now you're doing your own stage show. So how did that kind of evolve from dancing into that?
Well, I think that it all sort of stems from the same thing. So I really just like performing live. I think that that's what my love is. And then I was just trying to find all different ways I could do that. And I don't dance in the show because... I mean, I tried to get us to dance at one point, but they weren't into it. So maybe one day, though, we'll put it in. I think that would be really cool to do a show that kind of is sort of something that like a Justin Timberlake does, or, you know, where he has like dancers within a live band playing. I think that stuff is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. And this week in New York City is coming up with Fashion Week. I love your outfit. Thanks. How do you plan out your outfits for your shows? Do you have a stylist? Do you just kind of go around places, do it on your own?
I've worked with stylists for specific things, but I don't have a stylist that I work with all the time. I mean, there's a store that I love in New York. It's called Pixie Market. It's like a hole in the wall in the East Village. I was there today and I just got this. It's like $30. It's so great. And it's like all like old vintage stuff and things like that. My parents are in fashion, and I think I grew up around it, and New York is such a trendy city. I think that I just try and pull from people I like and people I know, I guess. People that I love their style. I think I just try and like pull out of what I like from everybody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Now, being on tour with Heffron Drive, you've been advertising the shows on social media, Instagram. So do you have a favorite app that you use, whether it's Twitter, maybe Snapchat, anything like that?
I talk a lot, so I feel like Twitter's the best for that. Because you can just like keep going. You can only post on Facebook so many times a day. Yeah. So I think Twitter, and I like Instagram. I'm a photo person, so I follow a lot of fashion bloggers on Instagram, and all of their like beautiful, you know, like professional photos that are always look so cool. I have this dream that I'm gonna get my Instagram to look like that one day.
Do you pin? Are you like a Pinterest kind of person? Or?
You know what? When I sit down and do Pinterest, I really like it, and I get really into home decor. I don't know. Do you do Pinterest?
I totally do. I have like my whole dream house like picked out, like
Isn't
cabinets
so
and like cool places. Yeah, like you see so many things you'd never even think of.
I know.
And like very inspirational.
It's so inspirational. I have a lot of like different floral arrangement Pinterest pins, like things you can do in your home with flowers. Yeah. It's really bizarre. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of like a black hole, Pinterest.
Yeah, definitely.
But I only do it when I like have time, like when I'm like sitting in bed at 12 a.m. and I'm browsing. It's either like Perez Hilton or Pinterest for me at least.
Well, you're on the road right now, so what is a daily schedule like for you when you're doing shows, Heffron Drive, you're in different cities all the time? How does that work?
This tour is a little bit different because we're only doing 5 days of it, and we're playing a bunch of Fashion Week events as well. So we have a van, and we're literally waking up at whatever time tomorrow morning to go. We'll probably leave New York at 9 or so, drive to DC, play the show in DC, do the meet and greet afterwards, and then drive back to New York, and then drive to Boston. And then Saturday we're doing a fashion show, so we're in New York, so that sort of thing. But when we went on the tour in November, we were on a bus, and your days and nights get mixed up, I think. So you're up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then you sleep till 12, and you wake up, and we had a shower on our bus, which wasn't really a shower. It was like a cold water hose. Yeah. So like you sort of do that for 2 or as long as you can stand it, and then you get dressed, and then you go to sound check. So I don't know. I think touring's kind of like camp. I think it's really fun.
I've heard that described as that before, like Warped Tour, kind of like punk rock summer camp kind of thing.
Totally.
So
that's a great way to put it.
If you could make your own tour, whether it's like you being the opener or a supporting act, who would you want on the road with you?
Ooh, good question. Who would I want on the road with me? I'm trying to think of something great. I really love Robin. I was just talking about her. I love her. I would love to tour with her. Someone even bigger. I know I was going to say Churches. My keyboardist is right there, and he's telling me to say Churches. I love Churches, and that would be a dream to go on tour with them. I don't know if you know Churches.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
They're amazing. And we could, that makes sense. Like, that's feasible. If Churches, if you're listening, take us with you. That would be great. I would love that. Someone like an Ellie Goulding would be really fun, too. I think that would be a great tour. Yeah. And I'm a big Alanis Morissette fan, so anywhere she goes, I'd be happy to just stand next to her, really.
That's awesome. Now, what are you doing after the Heffron Drive shows and the New York Fashion Week? Do you have anything planned? What can we expect?
I'm making a new EP, so finishing that up. The music should be done by October, and we'll be hopefully releasing some cool remixes for that, and then the record will come out right at the beginning of 2015.